Hey, what is going on? What is going on? Welcome. All right, so if you're catching this on a replay, make sure you hashtag replay so that I know that you were here. When you hop on, of course, let me know who you are and where you're from so I can shout you out and say hello after the broadcast. And while you are jumping on, I'm going to be sharing this out to a few of my favorite spots, and I encourage you to do the same. If you are catching this on the replay, you can skip ahead to about the 1.5 to 2 minute mark to get to the content. So like I said, while you're jumping on, I'm going to be sharing this out to a few of my favorite spots, and hopefully this will be working out on my new phone, y'all. Okay, so I actually did make the plunge and get this whole join Team iPhone yesterday, y'all. And so it's been hilarious so far. But hey, it's here and moving a lot faster than my old phone. Let me tell you. Okay, so the funny part about the phone, the funny story. So when I went to the store to get the phone and everything, and the technician was, setting up the data transfer to the phone, and she was scrolling the phone, and she just stopped and she looked at me. She said, "Yes, ma'am, it really was time for you to get a new phone." So that was just hilarious. It just totally cracked me up. But, it is what it is. I told y'all I use the phone until it dies. That's what I do. That is what I do. All right. So let me get this whole thing together and get this sharing done, and we'll get this show on the road. All right. So yeah. So, because the funny, the phone froze while she was trying to do this whole data transfer thing. It was just hilarious. So, but anywho, it is what it is. And now I don't have to do that anymore. So, I'm excited. I haven't learned how to use it all yet, so that part is interesting. All right, there we go. One more thing. So yeah, using this is, it's a little interesting, but I'm getting it together. All right, there we go. Woo! That was hilarious. All right, you guys. So also getting my my Bluetooth paired with the phone. Yeah, that was, I had to call my son. My son had to be my tech support yesterday. It was crazy. All right, enough about that. Let's get started with the housekeeping announcements. All right, I got my notes over here. So, all right. So as of today, February 22nd, from what I've heard on the streets, on these internet streets, refunds that contain the earned income tax credit will start being deposited today. Listen, go to irs.gov, click on where is my refund, put in your information to find out where your tax refund is. Do not call tax professionals asking them when you're going to get your refund, because they're not in charge of that. That is the IR and the S, okay? We don't have your money. The IRS has your money, and it has to go through its process of being released. The release part started happening February 15th. And so however you landed in that whole filing your taxes thing, that's when you will get your refund. So we can't make it go faster. You just got to be patient. Okay. All right. February 28th is the deadline for filing your 2017 taxes if you live in areas impacted by Hurricane Michael and you had a valid extension already filed. March 15th is the filing deadline for S Corps and partnerships. You must file or file an extension by March 15th. Now, if you don't, the failure to file penalty for S Corps is $195 a month, and for partnerships, it is $200 a month. April 15th is tax day. You must file your taxes or file an extension by April 15th. If you have a tax liability, it is due April 15th. Now, what if you say, hey, I need to file an extension, but I know I'm going to owe? If you know you're going to owe, you want to send something towards your tax debt, even if you don't know what it is, because your penalties and interest are based on what you owe, and anything that you can send to reduce that amount will help you out with penalties and interest, okay? But the thing that you want to keep in mind is that you want to file even if you can't pay your tax liability, because even if you say, I can't pay a dime of this tax liability, so I don't want to file, you're going to have to file sooner or later. So you may as well go ahead and file and start working it out with the IRS before the letters start coming. Because once the letters start coming, the price goes up. Okay. Nobody is trying to give you a break on price when you have not filed and you're dealing with letters with the IRS. That's just the way it is. Okay. So, April 15th is also the deadline for Q1 estimated tax payments. So if you have a personal tax liability of $1,000 or more, then you would wind up having estimated tax payments. So not only do you have your annual tax liability that is due on April 15th, you also have your Q1 estimated tax payments that is also due on April 15th. Now, gotta tell you guys about a fantastic event that is coming up next month. March 12th through the 14th is the Ecom Sellers Summit. I will be speaking along with a number of fabulous people that I'm excited to even be a part of the same event as them. Like, this is awesome. Even if it's an online summit. So even though it's online, to be, in the same company, I'm like, whoa, this is totally awesome. But listen, so if you wanted to know about e-commerce, this is the place to be. Sean Mayo is going to be there. Dallas Gordon is going to be there. Keisha Bass is going to be there. There's like a laundry list of people that are just a beast in their specific areas. So listen, Ecom, that's where you want to be. I'm going to put the link to register for the summit after I do this broadcast, because y'all know I can't do more than one thing at a time. So after I get done with this broadcast, I'll put the link in the comments, okay? So that is it for the housekeeping announcements. Let me get our intro out the way, and then we will get down with the content, all right? Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. All right. In keeping with my goal to help 1,000 business owners become profitable in 2019, we're talking about business training. Now, a couple videos ago, so y'all know I put my videos on YouTube, and for my YouTubers, these are my Facebook Live recordings, okay? So, a couple videos ago, we really talked about this tragedy of of a connection that I made on Facebook, and that really actually reached a lot of people, and like, hey, this networking thing really is important. And so I had a couple of people reached out to me that said, hey, I'd like to network, but I really don't know how to get this party started. Okay. And so I thought, wow, so with today, I'm going to give you some five basic steps to really be getting your networking off the ground so that you're really making the most of your time and building a solid network, because it is absolutely possible to build a crappy network. Okay. Can I tell you that? Absolutely possible. So, all right. So let's get started with, my son is blowing up my phone, y'all. Okay. He's killing me. All right. So let's get down with this. All right. So we got 5 basic steps that we're going to go through, and just know that networking takes practice. All right. This is not something that you're going to get down right off the bat. It takes practice, but if you're consistent, you're going to do great. Okay. So the first step to networking is to crafting that what you call the elevator pitch, or that 30-second intro, right? So the part about networking, it doesn't even start with meeting people. It starts with preparation. Okay. So one of the things that you have to be prepared with is that 30-second pitch. So when someone asks you what you do, you can tell them quickly and in a concise manner what it is that you do. Okay. So if you don't know how to craft your elevator pitch, I'm going to give you a great video that I watched that changed my whole entire life. Okay. So the name of the video is called How to Know Your Life Purpose in 5 Minutes. And that's by Adam Leipzig. I hope I pronounced his name correctly. It was a TED Talk. Okay. How to Know Your Life Purpose in 5 minutes. And with that, he gives you simple steps that really helps you craft that 30-second pitch that really hits home and tells people in 1 or 2 sentences exactly what it is that you do. So in going with that, you got to know who it is that you're serving as well. right? So you got to know who you're serving. That's your target market. And you got to know how you help them. So Adam Leipzig, How to Know Your Life Purpose in 5 minutes. You can find it on YouTube. Absolutely great video. Okay. So number 1 is to craft your elevator pitch, your 30-second pitch. Number 2, determine who you need to meet. Now, you need to meet 2 types of people. You need to build strategic partnerships, and you also need to meet your target market, right? Because we got to meet people who are going to pay us for our services. But strategic partnerships is you really thinking about, okay, who can I refer business to and who's going to refer business to me? Now, the real estate industry has this whole thing on lock, okay? Because you got the realtor, you got the lender, you got the home inspector, you have all of these people that all they're doing is passing business around to one another. Fantastic. So you have to know in your own industry, who do you need to meet? Are you a wedding planner? Okay, well, who do you need to meet for weddings, right? You need to, if you're a wedding planner, you need to know event planners. You need to know people who have places that hold weddings. You need to know, I guess, ministers or whoever that says, hey, I got a couple that's getting married. I don't know who you need to know, but as a wedding planner, you need to know who your strategic partnerships are and where are the brides hanging out. What kind of bride do you want? You can actually specialize in brides. You've got older brides, you got millennial brides, you got first-time brides. You have brides that have been married before and are getting married again. So you might be the second-time bride. I don't know, right? But these are the things that you need to think about in your industry as to who is going to be a strategic partner to where you can refer your clients. And you all refer business back and forth. And you also need to know who your target market is. So when you do have strategic partners, they know who to send your way, right? So with your strategic partners, they need to know like what type of language that they might hear that says, hey, this person needs to go be referred to, to Jane over here. Right? You need to be able to tell them exactly what type of language, what they look like, what kind of problem they may say that they're having, all those things. These are the things that you need to know about your strategic partners and that they need to know about you. Okay. So know who you need to meet. So craft your pitch, know who you need to meet. All right. Then number 3 is to find networking events. Where are they hanging out? Where is your squad hanging out? Your strategic partners, where are they? Okay. Where are they hanging out? And then that's where you need to go. And you need to do this consistently. Okay. Networking, if you are being diligent about your networking, trust and believe, it can be a very exhausting process, but it is totally, totally worth it. Okay. So get to those networking events. And number 4, and when you get to those networking events, you want to focus on meeting 2 to 3 people. That's it. You don't want to go and collect 500 business cards when you go to networking events because you're not going to remember these people. Okay. You need to meet 2 or 3 people. So a lot of times when you go and find networking events, if you can find out who's going to be there, then great. Then you can already know up front who you want to meet. But if you don't, this is why you want to get there early so you can see who's coming in the door. Because a lot of times in networking events, they'll have you, there are some where they go and have you put your business cards on the table and, but otherwise you need to see who's coming in the door. Right? Like when they're putting their business cards down or whatever, you need to see who's coming in the door. So when you go to a networking event, you want to get there early so you know who's coming in the door so you can be strategic about your time and thinking, okay, I want to meet that person or that person. Or you may connect with the organizer of that networking event and saying, hey, I need to meet these types of people. Who do you know that might be in this industry? And the person that's in charge of that networking event is probably going to help be able to direct you. Now, when you go to these networking events and you meet with the organizer, you also want to ask if there's anything that you can do to help them get ready for the event. Because you don't just want to go in there
just thinking about yourself. You also want to ask, how can you contribute better to the event? Do you may need help with setup? Y'all need to set up some tables, some chairs. Be willing to work for your information, because you want to know who's coming to that event, because you are on a mission to meet two or three strategic people. Okay. And then 5, get to work building the relationships. When you meet those 2 to 3 people, you might send them an email saying, after the event saying, hey, this is Lysandra. I met you at such and such event. It was great spending a few minutes talking to you. I wonder if you would be available to get together for coffee, phone calls, something, so that you can start getting to know people. And you are going to have to be the initiator, because most people don't do this. They don't. They don't think about it, because most people go to networking events with a gimme, gimme, gimme type of attitude, where you are going to be different, saying, hey, you know what? I'd love to meet you, learn more about what you do to see how I can support you in your business. They're going to love you from day one. And so when you start meeting with these people, you find out all about them. And trust me, they will tell you all about them, right? People love to talk about themselves. So when you give them the opportunity to talk about themselves, you learn more about them, what their, products and services are, and how you can be of service to them. Okay. But it's all in the relationship building. You have to do that, because the more they see your face, the more they hear your voice, the more they see, an email that says, hey, what's going on? How are you? The more you remain top of mind. That's where you've got to be in here. You have to get inside people's heads. So when someone says, I need X service that you offer, they're thinking about you. And so if you do this consistently and you maintain contact with people, then you are going to build a solid network that's going to help you then build your business. So, and you can even do this online, you guys. Absolutely do this online. Be brave enough to say, hey, can we have a quick call? I'd like to find out more about you and what you do. Some people may say yes, and there are a lot of times people will say no, because they think, oh my gosh, this is somebody online. But a lot of times people will welcome a phone call, because nobody wants to get on the phone anymore. Like, the phone has the plague. Let me tell you something. The phone is the bomb. I just spent enough money to let you know the phone is the bomb. I hate buying phones, but you want to get people on the phone, because that connection is closer than just, Facebook messages, right? Then you become more than just another person in the inbox. So you can absolutely move those online relationships offline, whether it's a phone call, you meet over Zoom or something. Absolutely. So this is how you start to build your network. And right now, there are a lot of people where their network is 0. Everybody's network starts at 0. But if you prepare, right? You prepare, your 30-second pitch, who it is that you need to meet and why you need to meet them. You also need to know how you can also serve them, your strategic partners, as well as your clients, and what that result will be. And then you need to get to work. You need to get to work on focusing on building those connections, building those relationships. So, a lot of people question whether or not they should be friends with their clients. Absolutely. The reason is, when you have that relationship breeds loyalty. So you might find out about their kids. You might find out that little Johnny is getting ready to graduate from high school, and you send them a nice card, a small gift. Say, hey, I wanted to congratulate your son on graduating from high school. Look forward to seeing you soon. Here's a little something, something. See you soon. Those small tokens of things helps to build more relationships than anything when you actually start to care. about the people that you're connected with, and you build those relationships. That's what it's about. I mean, and you think about how we are on social media, especially on Facebook, right? We've been friends with people for so long, we've seen their kids grow up on Facebook. Like, you think about that? Like, I think about how old my kids were when I first got started on Facebook. Gosh, I think I got started on Facebook in 2010, 2009, 2010. So in 2009, my kids were 1 and 4. Yeah. No, 1. How old were my kids in 2009? Like 1 and 4 or 5, something like that. But now I got, little Queen Diva, and I got, so we've watched people's kids grow up on Facebook. Why would you not talk to them on the phone? Just a thought. All right. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to Home Biz Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. If you have not scheduled your complimentary 15-minute consultation, you can do so right here at www.homebiztaxchat.com. All right. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye.